Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we're making a DIY wall art. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're gonna start by lining up these Jenga blocks from the dollar store. So I had a lot left over from a previous box, and then I also used some in last week's video. Where are my words today? So anyway, I lined these up and I started to do the one, then the two, then the three, then the two and the three. But then I'm putting the other colors in between these. So I glue these together with my hot glue gun. And then after I glue these together, I move on to grabbing the natural color ones. And then after I grab these, I start to line them up just like this to see how many I'm going to put. And then the light color ones, I need the five. And then I need the three, and then of course the one at the end. So then I do the opposite. After I do the five, I go back to doing the four in the brown, and then and so on. So you know how that goes. So I do three sets of these. Each set has 25. So that's 75 blocks that I use in total, but I use 36 of the brown ones and 39 of the natural colored ones, which is like really light brown. After I was done gluing those together, I then put them together like this. But here's what I did. Because I glued them first, I should have did this first, like glued it like that. But I ended up gluing them separately the first time. And then I started to glue them together like this. But when I did the second one and I was going to glue the third set together, I realized I think I should just put this together. So those two are lined up correctly. This one was just not lining up with me. So it did leave a little gap, but it's okay because I was going to add something onto this anyway. And I figured if I just have a small gap, I can cover it with what I was putting on here. So once I painted this, like once it was all glued together, I painted this with my Letterpress gray by DIY Paints. And I do the whole thing gray except the back. I just do the front and then like the lines, like the sides, top and bottom. I only use one coat. I think I should have used two, but I only use one. Then I grab some of my white paint and I go around the edges, but I don't use, if you see, I'm like dabbing the paint onto my mat. So I didn't want to put like a complete white and I didn't want to sand it down. I felt like it was best if I did it this way. So I kind of like just went over it just a little bit, but I'm not, it's like dry brush kind of, but that's how I did that part. But I wanted to do it around the edges. So this part right here, I found these at Harbor Freight. I was going in there for one thing and I saw these and I said, I can do something with this. So I am making a flower with this. So I took 7 pieces out and I got my yellow DIY paint, liquid sunshine, and I started to paint this to make like a sunflower. Now these wood pieces are actually the wood pieces that go in between the woods when you're making like a frame, and you just make that little cut in the middle of the wood, you slide it in, and then you connect that with the other one. So that's supposed to like expand once you put the glue in, and that's what holds the pieces in place. Um, so once I was done painting it in yellow, I only do like the top of the tips. The part that I'm gluing does not have any yellow on it, but I ended up gluing those pieces together, and then once they are glued together, they were pretty tricky because they kept falling apart, but it worked at the end because I was putting too much glue, but I was moving it up more, not putting enough where it should have been like on the tip. But I ended up putting this together, and then I wanted to do some like orange in the inside. And once I do, like I'm doing the same thing, I'm putting a little bit, not too much, but I'm also putting the orange onto my mat. So right where the hole is, like the little small space in between the two blocks, that's where I put my flower because one of the petals is covering that part. So you can't even see it. It's not noticeable. So just if you do decide to do this, just make sure that you, once you put all the lines together, before you connect that one part, you just connect them side to side one by one. It'll be easier that way. Um, but then I do the inside of, because it was still gray underneath, I just add some orange in the inside. So I had a heart left over from Valentine's Day. So I figured, let me just add something in the middle of the other one. Even though I didn't have anything to cover there, I still wanted to add something there, but I didn't want to add another flower. So I grabbed a heart, I painted it with my red paint, Marquee by DIY Paints, and then after that dries, then I put it on the middle parts of the other two sets. Um, I didn't want to use another flower because this is like a wall art that I wanted to make that defines like how we as a family are to each other, and how committed we are to each other. Like, I don't know, that's what family means to us. We're thankful, we make memories, we're committed, um, we gather, it's a forever thing. We have grace, we have home, we have, we cherish our time together. So it's pretty much like a definition of what we are to each other. Or like, I don't know, like I just wanted to do something like that to put on the wall that defines who we are as a family. I mean, I guess you can do this and you can put anything that you want on it, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something small, simple, but also nice to go with my home decor. Um, so yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I wanted to do with this sign. But as you saw, I put popsicle sticks in the back, just to make sure that it doesn't fall apart. And then I started to use some clear wax. I didn't like how that looked, so I ended up putting Big Top on top instead, and I liked how that looked better. Um, for hanging hooks, I ended up using, I think these are like eye sockets or something like that they're called. They're the ones, those small ones that you screw on. Um, but I put that on the top because I didn't want to screw. I wanted to screw in the back, like the hook in the back, but I felt like the screw was gonna go through to the front. And I didn't want that, so I ended up just putting it through the top. So that's how I ended up hanging this on the wall. But you'll see that in the picture at the end. Um, but I hope you like this video. It was, like I said, something simple. I wanted to put something on my wall, and I hope you stayed to the end and watched the whole thing. If you did, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. Until the next one. Bye.